back and bis, chest and tris, upper body, lower body, push, pull, full body with a day off. When putting together your workout, what do you work when? Well, in our third installment of Designing a Workout, we're discussing the splits today on the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast.
Welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast
with Garrett Williamson.
Health, wellness, exercise, nutrition, and a whole lot more. Got questions? Call us and leave a message at 251-278-EDGE or message us at Personal Edge Fitness on Facebook and Instagram, at Team PE on Twitter, or personaledgefitness.com.
Hey, good day and welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Garrett Williamson, president of Personal Edge Fitness. Sure appreciate you tuning in, and I want to tell you that if you have any questions about this podcast or any others, or if you have any questions concerning health, fitness, and wellness, especially any myths concerning health, fitness, and wellness, please contact me at Garrett, Garrett, at personaledgefitness.com. You can also contact us at our website, which is personaledgefitness.com, and also our Facebook page, Personal Edge Fitness. You can reach out to me on Twitter at Team PE. And also, if you're interested in speaking to me in person or any of our staff members, you can contact us at our Mobile location at 251-341-0927 or our Eastern Shore location at 251-651-0927. Now, there's a lot of information out there on this particular subject, designing a workout, and that is the splits. Exactly what are the best splits? How do you divide the body? Now, when we're talking about splits, I'm not talking about the flexibility kind. We're talking about how do you break up the different body parts and what days should you work what and when and how often. This is all what we call splits. How do I split up the body? And splits are as unique as an individual's goals. And the reason I say that is that though somebody, you'll have 3 people and they're all coming in for weight loss, their splits may be completely different because there's so many things that go into determining how to set up a split. Depending on the individual, you can have several factors that determine your splits. I'll give you a few of them to make it kind of easy. How many days a week are you going to be working out? Are you going to be lifting? Are you going to be doing cardio? And what are you going to be doing on those days? As far as, I plan on lifting 3 days a week, but I also want to do cardio 2 days a week. Or maybe you want to lift every single day. Also, time in a workout. How much time do you have? Are we going to try to cram a full body workout into a 30-minute routine? It can be done, but how much time are you going to allot for your workout or have for your workout? What does your lifestyle allow? 2 other things I'm going to mention, I'm going to get into this a little deeper, and that is energy levels. And I'll talk about that a little bit later and get a little more deep into that, but also personal preference weighs into this. And it really does. As I've said many times in your workout and in your fitness program and your goals, everything has to work for your head. And so personal preference is going to weigh into this, the different idiosyncrasies you have that you may prefer in a workout. And then, of course, probably the most important thing that dictates it and you start with, and that is your goals. So I want to start there. I mean, we make it pretty easy that whenever we're looking at designing a fitness program, of course, the main thing we want to keep at focus is what are our goals? And also definitely don't want to be spending a lot of time spinning our wheels doing things that we may not need to be doing in order to accomplish the goal that we're after, because that will frustrate you. And that's something that we look at when we have a client come in. As I've told you many times, the main goal that we're working to attain for everyone is we're looking for their level of wellness. And they'll come in and tell us that they've got strength goals, and they've got speed goals, they've got weight loss goals, they've got fat loss goals, they've got body image goals. But at the end of the day, it's what makes them feel better about themselves. And that's the ultimate goal, and we design everything around seeking that end goal. So you can do the same thing for yourselves. If you've got weight loss as your goal, well, that's where we want to make sure we focus our energies, and we may want to make sure we design our program. In a weight loss program, most people think of cardiovascular work and doing a lot of cardio work. We have learned in the last 15 to 20 years, believe it or not, that cardio used to be our main focus when we came about losing weight, but actually we're finding far, far, far more success with resistance training and weight loss and fat loss than we are in cardiovascular training. In previous podcasts, when I've talked about resistance training, I've told you that you actually burn more calories through resistance training than you do through cardio bouts, because of not only are you burning calories when you're doing the exercise, but you're also burning calories during the repair process and what have you. So if it's a weight loss program, definitely want to make sure that we've got plenty of resistance training in there, along with, of course, cardiovascular work. If it's strength training, yes, you need strength training, but we also need to know exactly where are we trying to get stronger. What are our goals? And typically, when we're gaining more strength happens to be our goal, typically it's focused towards a certain activity. I want to get stronger because of my golf game. I want to get stronger because I need to run faster on the football field. I want to get quicker, first step quickness in basketball. Well, somewhere we're going to have that strength that's going to be focused towards a certain activity. So when we design our splits, we want to focus our energies on that particular goal. And I talked about that earlier about focusing energies. And what I mean there is that's the third one that I mentioned earlier as far as what goes into play as far as designing your splits. When you start a workout, typically the most amount of energy you're going to have is at the beginning. And that's also where you're typically going to be gung-ho. The first Monday workout, that's the beginning of the week. That's when we're typically gung-ho. Towards the latter part of the week, we get a little tired. And that opening of that workout is when we're going to have the most amount of energy. Once the warm-up's done, boom, that's where we're going to want to put our main focus as far as our workout is concerned. Whatever our goals are, if it's leg strength, we want to focus on leg stuff there. If it's upper body strength, then we want to focus upper body there. But that's what I'm talking about, energy levels. And as your week goes on, you typically will be more tired. You'll be more drained. And so you'll have less energy to put into your workouts. Though you still may be working out, you're not going to be as aggressive during those workouts. Now, of course, you want to rest, you want to get good recovery, you want to get good nutrition in there, but as the week drags on and you haven't had a rest day, you're going to be a little more tired. So when you're designing and putting your program together, you want to make it so that parts of your exercise, parts of your workout that don't require quite as much energy are set around those times to match your energy levels. Let me show you what I mean. If I'm going to do strength training for my legs, and I know that I really need to work on that. It's something that I'm a guy, so I typically want to do upper body and don't want to work legs, but I know I desperately need it. In order to be competitive in a aquathlon and competitive in a multisport, I'm going to have stronger legs to protect my knees and what have you. Okay, well then when I put my workouts together, I'm going to make sure during the week, Monday through Friday, that if I'm doing a 5-day-a-week program of resistance training with 1 or 2 days off towards the end of the week, then I'm going to put the 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to focus on lower body. That's where I'm going to put the focus. I'm going to start off that Monday workout with an aggressive, hard leg workout. Because Tuesday, I'm going to be a little tired, but I'm doing upper body, so I like doing upper body. And so I'm going to have more of a tendency to push the upper body on my own without having a whole lot of needing a whole lot of extra energy in order to get me to go through that program effectively. But I'm going to set up the majority of the days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on lower body, and then Tuesday, Thursday doing upper body with most likely a fourth workout on a Saturday doing some upper body. Now, that's me. That's what I need in that particular program. That's what my program speaks to. So I'm going to set up my splits towards my goals, and in this case, towards my weaknesses, the things that I really need to work on, but I'm not as driven to work on, and I need a lot of energy to push myself through that. Now, splits can come in many forms. And as I was talking about that, I just realized that I spoke to you about upper body, lower body split. That's one of the splits that is common that trainers use, that a lot of people use. They do an upper body, lower body split, and that seems to work for them. And it's very common. It's very common to do that kind of a split. There's some great benefits to it because it's what I call a 2-day split, in that you can pretty well get the full body done in 2 days. And by the time that third day rolls around, you've had a good 48 to almost 72 hours of complete recovery for the lower body, or the upper body, whichever one you're doing first. And then you can work that half of the body again. And that way, in a 5-day-a-week program or a 6-day-a-week program, you're going to hit every body part. In a 6-day-a-week program, you're going to hit upper body and lower body, both of them, 3 times. So you're going to get quite a bit of work on those body parts. The bad thing about it is that if you're doing all lower body or you're doing all upper body, then you're going to be spending less time on each one of the muscles. And it's what I call going an inch deep, mile wide. as far as a workout is concerned. In other words, you're going to do some glute work, but you're not going to do 5 exercises or 4 exercises or even 3 exercises on glutes. You're probably going to do more combination exercises, a quad glute exercise, and not do like pelvic bridges or what have you. You're going to do more like a lunge or a straight leg press or a straight squat. And you're going to hit some combinations so that you can get to your hamstrings, so that you can get to your calves. And so you're going to spend less time on each individual part of the leg, but you're going to repeat that workout or a similar one 2 days later. There's give and take there. There's pros and cons. And this is where it comes to personal preference. Actually, I'll get to that in just a second because I want to speak about some other splits, and I'll break it into what I mean by personal preference. So again, upper body, lower body split, when you're doing large amount of muscle groups, then typically you're going to go about an inch deep, but you're going to go a mile wide. And so you've got some give and take there. Now let's see if we break it down even farther. What if you wanted to go the reverse? What if you wanted to go to mile deep, inch wide? And that's when you get into your 4 and 5 and even 6 day splits. Now, the upper body, lower body split is a lot of muscle groups, like I said earlier. Another version of a lot of muscle groups is one that we use quite often at Personal Edge. We do push-pull splits. And that is every muscle that you use to pull things with, as in your back muscles, you're doing pulling exercises, biceps, you're doing pulling exercises. When it comes to legs, that's the backside of your body. The hamstrings are doing quite a bit of pulling. Anything that does any kind of pulling, you're going to work one day. And then the next day, you're going to work everything that pushes. You're going to work quad and glutes. You're going to work chest. You're going to work shoulders, triceps, things that you actually push. And what we usually say on those, we call it the front side of the body and the back side of the body. It's not truly front side, back side because the triceps are located on the back side of the arm, but you get the idea. I mean, quads, your chest, your shoulders, pretty much front side of the body. And that's what we mean by push-pull. Those, along with the upper body, lower body splits, are inch deep, mile wide workouts. Now, if you want to go deeper, like I said earlier, and you want to go mile deep, inch wide, you're going to go into a 5-day-a-week or 4-day-a-week type of split. You can even go as far as 6 days a week. I wouldn't recommend 7. I'd recommend at the most 6 and taking a day off. Well, in those combinations, you're probably going to work like a chest tricep and a back and biceps. And then some people like to break it down and go into shoulders and quads, or shoulders, quads, glutes, and then go to nothing but hamstrings on the last day. And there's several different ways of breaking that up. Some people tell me, well, I don't like to do chest and triceps. I'll do chest and shoulders. I'll do back and hamstrings. In other words, you're going to break down fewer muscles for a longer amount of time. So a typical 5-day-a-week split would be chest, triceps, or chest, triceps, and shoulders for that matter, starting off. And that's what the typical guy workout is, to start that on Monday and really dive deep into chest, triceps, and shoulders. And the reason I put those three together is that if you're working chest, believe me, you're working your shoulders. I mean, shoulders are involved. And if you're working shoulders, you're going to be working triceps. If you're working chest, you're going to be working triceps. If you're working overhead presses on shoulder, you're going to be hitting chest. So chest, triceps, and shoulders, putting those three together, fantastic complement. And by the time you get to working on your triceps, if you're starting big muscle first, which I highly recommend, focusing your energy on that bigger muscle, which is your chest here, and then go into shoulders. By the time you get your triceps, you're actually on like your 3rd or 4th set for triceps, because you've already worked your triceps doing chest work. You've already worked your triceps doing shoulder work. And so by the time you get to triceps, most likely you're going to be tired and you're getting towards the end part of your workout, but you only have a small muscle group to work, and it has already gotten quite a bit of work already. Then you'll switch to the next day and go to, if you want to stay upper body, you can go back biceps. And so when you say back, now that's quite a bit though. That's not like one muscle. You've got your rhomboids, you've also got your latissimus dorsi, you've got lower back, which is erector spinae, quadratus lumborum. Those actually taking a completely different movement. So there's a lot going on that day, though it is all in the back. But if you're working rhomboids, if you're working latissimus dorsi, you're doing pull-ups or pull-downs or row machines, anything like this, you're going to be activating the bicep. It's almost impossible not to activate the bicep. There are some lat exercises. If you're interested in one, I have a great lat exercise that does not involve the bicep whatsoever. In fact, the biceps in complete rest. If you're interested in knowing more about that, contact me at 251-341-0927. Be glad to set up an appointment and actually show you that exercise. But typically, you're going to be working biceps. So at the end of the workout, again, like the triceps on the chest day, the biceps going to be tired. You're going to be tired, but you don't need a whole lot to really finish off the biceps. And of course, you guys out there, I know who you are. Every day is International Bicep Day. We're doing the beach workout. I understand. So leave that. If that's what your passion is, hey, leave it towards the end of the workout, because I promise you, I spoke about passion and personal preferences earlier. You're not going to skip your passion. I promise you. You may 86 those things that you don't like, but you're not going to skip your passion. So you can leave it towards the end of the workout. And then, of course, you're going to attack legs. Now, there's different ways to break down legs. Now, we're on our third day. If you're going upper body, then move into a lower body on a 5-day split. You're going to move to legs. And with the legs, I would break those up. I'd break those up into quad glute at least. If you don't want to do anything else, you want to do as minimal as you possibly can, go quad glute. Too many times I hear of people that do a chest workout one day, and then the very next day they do a shoulder workout. Well, that's ridiculous, because your shoulders are already trying to repair from the chest day, and here you are breaking them down. If you do the same thing with legs, I did glutes one day and then I did quads the next day. That's almost it is counterproductive, because no matter what, when you're doing glute work, even when you're doing some bridge work, you're activating those quadriceps. And so you want to make sure that you're giving them plenty of time to rest. You might as well work the two of them on the same day. And you can do quad or glute-focused exercise. You can do a quad-focused exercise with a leg extension machine. Everybody knows about that one. You can do glute-focused exercises when you're doing bridges and even some presses where you're pressing just through your heel. But you're going to, most likely, no matter what, use some sort of a combination quad-glute exercise, like a leg press, like a squat, like a lunge. You're going to be using those types of exercises, so you might as well work those two muscles together. If you want to know which one to go for first, go after that glute first. You're probably going to involve the quadriceps, but go after the glute first. And I highly recommend medial glute work and targeted group work like hip bridges with a weight across your quadriceps first. Typically, we save those to the end. We use those as a finishing exercise. I recommend doing those first. Why? Well, the reason being is that is probably the most effective use of what we call pre-exhaustion. And that is getting those glutes a bit tired and then jumping into a lunge or a squat or something where you're going to use that massive quadricep to help you finish off the glutes. I promise you, well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, you can possibly take your glutes to failure by doing a hip bridge or doing outer thigh work for the abductors. But most likely, you're going to work them very hard, but you're not going to take them to failure. That sets them up for fantastic breaking down of muscle tissue during a quad glute exercise like a lunge or a leg press or a squat, because you're using that quadricep to finish off those glutes. And the bigger the muscle, the harder it is to target. So if you can get some pre-exhaustion on that big muscle, that's like tenderizing a steak. That's tenderizing a steak before you cook it. You're getting it ready. You're really going to get a much more effective workout by doing that. So there's your quad glute splits. And now we're going to our fourth day. And our fourth day would be our hamstrings. And I know that sounds strange just to put it on hamstrings, but the reason Garrett recommends that is because the hamstring is the largest, most neglected muscle in the body. It is the one that causes so much stress to our back when it's weak, and it causes a lot of problems. And as I've said before, I've used the example, the person was going to run the 100 meters and get the gold medal in Olympics, but he pulled a hamstring. Every single time it's a hamstring because we ignore it. So I really think that your hamstrings should get their own day. If you want to throw something in there, go after your passion. Don't do quad glute because you did it the day before, particularly if you're a guy and you like biceps. Hey, great day to do some extra bicep work. If you like extra back work, a little extra back, fantastic. You want to do your rest sets and you want to do chest work then, fantastic. Just don't turn around the next day and repeat chest, triceps, back, biceps, whatever you may be working. But hamstrings really deserve the attention on one day. Plus, if you're going through the week, like I said earlier, and you're getting your energy levels are dropping down, well, now we're dropping to fewer muscles that we're focusing on. Focusing on the hamstrings, doing deadlifts, RDLs, or hamstring curls, you're not doing as much work as you are on, say, a chest, tricep, shoulder day, or on a back biceps day, or even a quad glute day, but you are still targeting a very important muscle, and you're probably going to get the most effective workout because you're not working with so many muscle groups. Now, I said this is a 5-day workout program, and it seems like I've gone through the whole body, but there's something major that we're missing, and that is, of course, core work. Now, core work in a 5-day break program, I do think it needs its own day. Why? Because it's so incredibly important. It is so incredibly important. When people say core work, they typically think of abs. And yes, abdominals are very important, but doing 40 sets of abdominals, these ridiculous things that we tend to do that we don't do with any other muscle group, is just absurd. Have an effective high repetition because it is a dense muscle. Yes, that's very important. But set it up like you do chest. Set it up like you do any major muscle group. You may not do one exercise, you may do 3. That's fine. But there's no reason for these incredibly high sets of abdominals. But always meet it. If you're going to do 3 sets of abdominal work, turn around and do 2 to 3 sets on lower back work. Lower back is so important and so neglected. I don't know where that we got off calling ab work core work when the lower back is highly, highly, highly involved. And it's not as involved in a plank. Most people talk about the transverse abdominal work. It's great lower back. It's great real core work. Yes, it is great with core work, but it's doing more, typically more for the abdominals than it is for the lower back. You need that hyperextension, upper body hyperextension, lower body extensions, doing the hyperextension, reverse hypers on a reverse hyper machine. These are extremely important for working that lower back and going through that range of motion safely. Because there's a lot of your stability, a lot of your power comes from there. And if you are an endurance athlete and you're out doing a long run, everything, if your core is not strong, everything is going to start to collapse to the center. That's where you start to kind of lean your head to one side, or you're not moving your arms effectively, you're crossing your body. That's because your core is collapsing. And so you want to make sure that's strong. That's why I give it its own day on a 5-day-a-week program. Now, it's easy to see that if you're going to make it a 4-day-a-week program, fine. Then sprinkle core work throughout, or combine the hamstrings into the leg day. But if you really want to go mile deep, inch wide, I recommend that 5-day program and really hitting those muscles really hard, really dense. You should have some soreness for at least 48 hours. Nothing debilitating, but you should have some residual effect. It should take longer to recover because, of course, you're spending more time on the muscle. Always set your energies up. Always set your program and your splits up to not only meet your lifestyle, but also meet your goals. Now, I've done a very quick overview on splits. I could sit here and talk all day about splits because they're so individualized and there's so many things to concern yourself with when you're putting together an effective split. The reason we are so successful with our clients is because we design splits to not only to meet all of these criteria. Not just the goals, but meet their head, meet their lifestyle, meet their days of the week, meet their time of day. And so if we can help you put that together, please contact us at Garrett, Garrett, at personaledgefitness.com. You can contact us on our website, personaledgefitness.com, and our Facebook page, which is Personal Edge Fitness. We'd love to hear from you. Call either one of our locations, Mobile at 251-341-0927 or Eastern Shore at 251-651-0927. We love nothing more than sitting down with you and helping you design an effective program. Because of making an effective use of your splits is one more way we want to help you reach your level of wellness. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast with Garrett Williamson. Subscribe now and be a part of the show by calling 251-278-EDGE or message us on Facebook and Instagram at Personal Edge Fitness or at Team PE on Twitter, and visit us at personaledgefitness.com.